Quit acting stupid. With
Bobby,
Jamie,
Rudy,
and
Andy.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Quit Acting Stupid. I am your host, Jamie Paredes, and joining me as always are my brothers, Bobby, Rue, and Andy. How are you doing, boys?
doing well.
all right.
Fabuloso.
Fabuloso, huh?
Roo, huh? Roo, like a kangaroo.
Yeah. Rue. I just thought maybe I'd change it up, go with some nicknames. That's what people call me, you know.
Well, I can think of some other nicknames you could have put, but we won't go there.
I digress.
Tripod?
Yes. Anyway, all right, not now. Not now.
Don't take this off the rails yet.
Okay.
All right, how you
All
guys
right.
been? Long time no see.
Doing well. Doing
Saw
well.
you yesterday, brother.
I know it was a joke. Yes, we all got together yesterday for Memorial Day, which we
For
do
our
most
Memorial
every
Day
year.
tradition.
Yes.
Did you memorialize anyone that you care to share?
We saw quite a few members of our family.
Yeah.
At the cemetery. Yes,
We do. Luckily for us, a lot of our family members are like really close in the same vicinity. So it's not a whole lot of walking, but
I feel bad
Except
for all the family members on the Kansas side because we don't ever go to the Kansas cemeteries. We
Yeah,
just
we
hit
just-
the two in Missouri.
We cut them out of the family tree. Sorry,
Yeah. if you're
Sorry,
buried in
Antina.
Kansas,
Aunt Tina got the hook. Who else?
Our great grandmother,
Our
Margarita.
great grandmother.
Margarita.
Margarita. Yeah, no, we're not
Yes.
going over there. That's over in Kansas.
Too
KCK.
far, Margaritas.
What do you guys think of our tradition? We've been doing it now. I'm going to be 50 this year, and we've been doing it for as long as I can remember. Is it? Do you find that many people go to the cemetery on Memorial Day weekend?
Many other people. I think other people do, but I don't think it's a staple, like same time every year. Whereas with us, it's basically pretty much anywhere from 9:30 this year to like 10:30 or somewhere in that range, pretty much on the dot every Memorial Day, right? For the most part.
Yeah, like so
People do that.
we always start at Mount Olivet, and we got to get there at a certain time because if we're too late, then there's a mass going on, and there's nowhere to park, and there's something. Yeah, we do the same ones every year, but yeah, I don't know if I have a whole lot of friends who do the same thing every year like we do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always feel weird whenever I bring it up that that's what we're doing. Like I have to explain that's a tradition because it seems so foreign whenever I bring it up.
Like explain it to friends. Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't have to explain. I mean, I think people know when you
yeah.
go to a cemetery.
Sure.
But when I say it, it seems like a foreign concept. You know what I mean? Because I don't know
Yeah.
anybody else who does that.
So I actually said it to a client today. I told her what I did over Memorial Day weekend, and I said, well, I went to the cemetery to go pay our respects. And she actually covered her face and she said, "Oh, you're making me feel terrible for not having done the same thing." You know, I was making her feel guilty for not having gone to see her
As
family
she
member.
should. As she should.
Yeah.
That
You
was an
tell her you
interesting
need to go
reaction.
see your mother. You need to go see your mother.
She was about 80 years old.
Say
so
hello
I'm
to your
gonna-
mother for me.
I'm going to assume her mother. Yeah. I guess you were saying her mother would be deceased. Yeah.
So my thing was I love it. I'm very excited for it. I look forward to it every day. I don't know. I love it so much that because last year we didn't do it because some selfish brothers decided to take a trip to Chicago and ruined the entire Memorial Day weekend for me because there was no trip to the cemetery because
My bad.
you guys were. So that was terrible. I was furious with you guys.
I didn't realize it until this weekend that I was like, yeah, that was kind of, yeah. I'm the big tradition guy, and I was the one that went out of town last year at this time.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed.
I gotta say, I mark it. It kind of marks like the year, like it's a staple. Whether I think it's kind of up there for me with like 4th of July and stuff like that. Because I mean, we kind of do the same thing as you would do on 4th of July anyway. Like after we go to the cemetery, we come back, cook out, and just do our thing. Like it's kind of like it marks the beginning of summer. I know people say it's the unofficial start of summer, but really it is for me. Like it has a place on my yearly calendar every year.
And I think most
Is
people
that
myself
is
to introduce myself.
that the last Monday in May? Because that's the place it's on my calendar.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Never mind.
I mean, Memorial Day. Okay,
You know what I
it's
just
not
realized?
freaking December 25th or the 4th of July, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Yes.
Hey, were you telling me to hurry up? I just looked at my text. Were you just telling me to hurry up?
Yeah, I was. Yes.
My computer, I think, is just so chocked full of porn that it took. I clicked on it as soon as it came, and I'm joking about the porn. Well, not really, but anyway. But I clicked on it as soon as it came. I apologize if I took too long. Hold on, but I had a train of thought. So, and this is going to sound bad because I do love going to see all the people that we see, and I love Memorial Day. But I was driving to the cemetery with Manny, and kind of jokingly, I said I kind of related it to like as a kid when you've got to go to church on Christmas Eve before you can get to grandma's to open the presents. We have to go to the cemetery first before we can get to the house to eat hot dogs and hamburgers. And it's that much anticipation. Like I couldn't wait. Like I have never had a hot dog before or something, but I couldn't wait for the barbecue portion of Memorial Day.
Which I nailed.
Hold on.
Dude.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. But
You
yes.
were sweating and it's
Well,
probably
I think-
sweating in the food and all nervous. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Chill out, bro. I
Who
should
said that?
I
Who
think
said
you
that? Who said? No.
Hold
But
on.
anyway, back to
Three
the cemetery
more
part of it.
stories. Three more stories.
Back,
Hold
back
on.
to the cemetery part of it.
Yeah, cemetery.
I think part of it is that we tell this exact same stories every year, and we act like it's the first time we've heard them, or like But I think that too, the younger generation hearing those stories and being able to talk about the grandfather that got his leg chopped off in the ice plant or whatever, and
we just call him
being able to
Icebox
tell-
now.
Yes,
Icebox
which
is his
yeah,
name.
our grandfather. Well, I guess it'd be our great grandfather,
Great grandfather.
Ramon
What's his name?
Paredes.
Ramon Paredes.
Yes, and so
Lost his leg in an ice house factory somehow.
And
I don't know if
literally, Manny said, okay, now we got to go see Icebox. Like, that's literally what he said. Like, that's how we know him.
But here's the other thing too: is we do this whether it's 95, 100 degrees, or we've done it in pouring rain too. We've with our umbrellas. So that's important. I mean, it's that important that we do it come rain or shine. The other thing I thought was interesting is because of the storms that we endured here in Kansas City over the weekend,
yes.
the tree that symbolizes that's where the Bernal family / Paredes family, Montes, Alvarados, we've got a lot of family members that are buried there.
Calderons, aren't the Calderons there too?
Calderons, yes. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. But that's where that tree got toppled, and it's a tree that we showed up. It's like we lost a family friend. I mean, to see the tree toppled, and I'll have to send Rudy some photos so we can put them on social media. But I mean, this tree has been there ever since we were kids, and it just every year just keeps getting bigger and bigger and providing shade to the grave sites. And then to see it toppled, that was kind of.
And that's that's a topic every year. Like even when Grandma was alive, and then Helen would go with us, and Susie would go with us. Susie De Leon would go with us. We always talked about the tree and how, this is how we remember where it's at, and it provides shade and whatever. The tree was always a topic because it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And now to see it knocked over was such a mind-blowing kind of situation.
It was literally the first thing each one of us said as we got out of the car. It was like, the tree. What happened to the tree?
Did you see the tree? No, I didn't see the gigantic tree. We were lucky, though, that it didn't fall on the grave sites we were there to see, though. It fell the other way. So unfortunately for whoever's on the other side of that tree, there wasn't time to remove it. Yeah. So
they were buried. Yeah, so I want
Um,
to talk about how we do it in every weather,
it-
the tree, and then
big thing.
the story of our grandmother. So we this dates back to when our grandma Paredes was still alive, and so her parents, our great grandparents, are there, and her husband is at a different cemetery. And so when she was going with us every year, we'd ask her, hey,
know where you're
where do
going.
you want to be? Where do you want to be buried? Do you want to be buried with your husband over at Mount St. Mary, or do you want to be buried with your parents here at Mount Olivet in Raytown? And just her response was, well, just surprise me. Obviously at that point she's going to be gone, but yeah. So I hope she's surprised. Now we buried her with her parents. So
Jamie, you were about
Yeah.
to say something. What were you going to say?
No, for me, it's the fact that the thing that really hits home to me is that we are now going to see at least one person that we originally went to the cemetery with. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when we were little, we were with our grandma and our Aunt Helen, who is now 96 ish.
Yeah, she just
96.
turned 96 on May 14th.
At some point, in the not too distant future, we're going to go see her as well. So it's like, those two were, when I think of Memorial Day, you mentioned, we would go with our grandma and our Aunt Helen and our cousin Susie. And now we're going to see, they're actually one right now, and, two in the not too distant future, people that we used to go with, and now we're actually visiting them.
Yeah.
So that's it kind of hits home.
When
And
we
we're the
went,
ones that have to know the stories so that we can tell our kids now, because
Right.
before we were the kids, now we're the ones having to tell the stories.
when we were
'Cause I
driving
think-
up to the cemetery, Manny was in the car with me, and we drove past that church. That church before the intersection and I asked him, I'm like, were you old enough? And I didn't think he was. I'm like, were you old enough to remember how Aunt Helen, we'd always pull over so Aunt Helen could buy her flowers at that church. They'd have them all laid out in the yard. And he just looked at me like he had no idea what I was talking about. So I guess he was too young. But yeah, she would always, they didn't have any, they weren't selling flowers. I don't know. Maybe it's been years since they've sold flowers. I don't remember. But
I was thinking the same thing when we drove by. It looked just deserted, and it was kind of
Yeah, it
sad.
was deserted.
I remember we said that, yeah. But I don't remember when was the last time I saw them selling flowers there. Maybe they stopped 10 years ago, for all I know.
right. Because again, last year we didn't do it because our brothers selfishly went on a trip again, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
But so I don't know I don't know when they stopped. But what were you going to say?
They stopped about actually 15, 20 years ago. I don't think they.
Oh,
The
Not
kids.
that long ago.
I don't know about that. I don't know, but it was a happening intersection right there. Like it was pretty crowded. Anyway.
yeah,
But no,
there's
back
another
to
cemetery there.
Yeah, I was just saying, getting back to the tree, I remember where Grandma and Aunt Helen would talk about how when their parents died, I don't remember what the dates were that they died, but it was many, many years ago, how small that tree was back, because they would tell the story about when they would go to the cemetery, how small it was. And now this massive tree, it really hits home how big that tree was when it was, completely fallen down,
Right.
split in half. And it's like, man, that's a long time that they, anyway. It was pretty cool, cool deal.
Great weather. It wasn't muddy. It wasn't, the grass is always wet because we get out there early. So there's the dew on the grass, but great weather. Very happy that Mom was able to get out there with her leg. I got to throw
Talk
her.
about her bum leg.
Throw her a bone. She had a bum leg all week. She hadn't left the house, and she made it out. We didn't think she was going to make it out, but glad she made it out. Yeah. So probably one of the highlights. Is that weird? Highlights of Memorial Day cemeteries is going to see Manuel's grave, because there's a story there, and I know. Quentin wasn't with us this year, but he knows that's where his middle name come from. And Manny mentioned, are we gonna go see the guy with that has my name? And I'm like, yeah, he's up there. And so
is that what he says?
Yeah. And so that's always good to kind of relive that, because in a way he's every year we make sure at least once a year when we're there.
Give a quick background on what
I was going to say, for those that don't know, so about, this year we figured it's going to be 30 years this year that
year in 2 weeks.
here in 2 weeks, June 14th. It'll
Yeah.
be 30 years that he has since he's been gone, and it's he was a guy that was in Jamie's class at Rockhurst High School. His parents came over, or his mother did. I don't know about his father, but I mean, his mother came over from El Salvador, and so he was a student at Rockhurst. He was, what year was he? Sophomore.
When he died, he
He
was
was a junior when
going in.
he died. It was the summer right before our. No, it was the summer right before our senior year.
Manuel Antonio de Leon. We hadn't said his name yet. Manuel.
Yes.
Manuel de Leon. Yeah, we're telling the story about him. Nobody knows who he is. Jamie's good friend, but honestly, he was a friend of the whole family, really. So yeah, he died
Going into our senior year.
going into your senior year. So his death happened the weekend of the OJ trial, like the OJ. No, not the trial.
The
OJ
day after.
It was
the
the day
chase.
after the OJ chase, because I was out of town. I was on a float trip in St. Louis, and I just remember getting back, everybody being sad and crying about the Manuel situation, and then like a week later, I'm like, "What happened to OJ?" Like I literally, I was gone for the actual happening of it, and then when I got back, it was all about Manuel, which I missed. Apparently, a lot of people came to our house that night that they found out he died. I was gone. I wasn't there. I missed all that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What was that like? What was that scene like? I mean, who all came? Like what, you know?
Oh man, yeah, well, for me, it was kind of all a blur, but because I was at work all day, and so nobody really told me about it until that evening. So, it's a long time ago, so I'm still a little, I'm a little foggy on the exact, whatever. But he's buried not too far from the rest of our family, and so we make our way up there, do the whole flower thing and everything, and I think this is the first year that Avery actually it clicked with her, like, oh, my dad's friend died, and I think Avery was telling Vanessa, my dad's friend died, or and
Yeah.
And so so more stories being passed down.
Right. And it always, so he died. He was Manuel and I were counselors at Rockhurst for summer school, along with Pete Cerrone, Sterling Brown. We were all counselors up there in the rep program. And the plan was for me to take him to school every day. But again, because I was on that float trip, I was going to miss the first day of school, maybe even the first 2 days. I don't remember because I was out of town. So he found his own ride, and that's when it happened. And, there were a lot of times when I thought, well, if I hadn't gone on that trip, I would have been taking him to school and maybe he'd still be here, like stuff like that. And
that's a lot of stuff when you're that young, when you're a teenager and somebody, actually dies that,
it's terrible. And so I always like, when we go there and kind of reminisce about that. And so, yeah, it was good to see Manuel clean up his grave, his stone and all that stuff. So.
And so then we pack up and we head to another cemetery on the other side of town to see the rest of our family. And then,
And what's with the cemetery roads? Like, what are we doing? Especially at St. Mary's.
Yeah. So the deal at St. Mary's was, I think that's such an old cemetery that it was built before the cars were, very
bigger.
Cars were bigger than they are now. We've gotten smaller cars, haven't we?
Maybe even,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Like a big old,
maybe not as wide. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe there just weren't as many people around, because now you just have people coming and going two ways on a road that's really only built for one.
Well, you could tell the people that are going the wrong direction. They don't go that often. You could tell. But for some reason at St. Mary's, it's not normally like this, but it was packed this year, and there was some kind of mass going on. Like, is that new? Because it's never that, and we get there at the same time every year.
There was a mass going on at St. Mary's. I missed
so
that.
Because if you notice, so we also ran into the Pernices. Man, I'm gonna mess up all their names, but it was Jack, Phil,
Steve.
Phil, Steve, and Annette wasn't there. But what's the others?
Yeah, you blew it.
I blew it. I'm sorry.
Can't find the drop in time.
I'm sorry. But anyways, we ran into them. We talked to them for a long time. But if you notice, when we were done talking to them, we went on to do our prayers and stuff like we do, like our normal thing. All the cars were gone at that point because the mass was over and everybody left. So there was more room at that point. But
It's always a
We-
tricky
we-
drive.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So then our parents' power went out, and we usually gather after the cemetery. We gather at their house. We cook out on the grill, watch the Royals, do the whole deal. And this
Couldn't do
year
it.
they're
Couldn't do it at their house.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had to scramble and we threw it all on Jamie. Originally, I think there was talk about doing it at my house, which we could have, but we were just here for Manny's graduation. So I thought, let's.
Mhm.
I said, yeah, let's go to Jamie's. So you have more room, anyways. So
Yes, I think everybody just kind of threw together a shopping list real quick. What do we need? We need plates. We need this and that. We need drinks and blah blah blah. And I
I
think
took mom and
everybody
dad to the store. We got the relish, we got the buns, we got the plates. Yeah, and we're on a group text there. We're all sharing. Hey, what do we need? And
yeah,
right.
It's kind of an impromptu deal. I did that.
Okay,
Rudy.
I got you. I was like, what happened? But anyways,
So yeah. So no. I think we had a pretty good time. We had our cousin JJ come over.
JJ
Yes, Mr. Segura.
Sagura.
and Jamie was on the grill.
Yeah.
And JJ,
Luckily-
go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Luckily, it was good weather. Go ahead.
I was just going to say JJ had an idea for a new segment on our show
Yes.
called The Chisme with JJ Sagura. So we might have to look into that. That made me laugh. So
It's a work in progress.
I think we've talked about chisme before, what it is, right?
yeah, I think last episode actually we talked about Chisme.
For those who haven't seen the last episode, and maybe
Well,
this is
go
their
back and
first,
watch it then.
Chisme is gossip.
Yeah. So JJ is going to be like the gossip queen.
Gossip girl.
But no, it was good. You guys drank all the soda that I brought over. So you,
Your granddaughter took one sip out of a bottle of water, and that was it. And I think that's a thing with your family.
she
That's
took
why-
like. Go ahead. That's why.
That's why I told mom to get the small bottles of water because I know invariably those kids are going to take one drink and yeah, that's it.
She took like 2 bites of her hot dog, and then it's been sitting there for like an hour. And Jamie's like, "Do you think she's gonna come back for this?" And just grabs it and eats it. Like, so disgusting. Like, I wouldn't eat after my own kid. That's that's horrible. But
Hopefully Emily won't listen to this show and know that I did that. So thanks for ratting me out.
Oh, sorry. I'm sure that's not the worst thing you've put in your mouth this week. I'm talking about expired food. Don't
Okay.
you?
Oh, dude, I hit some. I tapped some milk that was about 2 weeks. But anyway, go ahead.
I drank some expired milk the other day. It stunk, but it didn't taste bad. So I went ahead with it.
Fine.
I just
Fine.
closed. I just drank it like this. So it was fine. It wasn't chunky. I didn't, but anyway.
I tell you that there was some. Yeah.
I love that.
I'll go ahead. There's some green beans in the fridge that had been there for quite a while, and I was like, they had something on them, and I'm like, well, I know Emily likes to throw some seasoning on them, so maybe that's what that was. So I convinced myself that white stuff wasn't bad stuff. It was, and so I just ate it real fast. And so, but it didn't taste bad.
Real fast. There was a report. I saw it on the Stephen Colbert show, so I looked it up, and it's in USA Today about how a little bit of mold isn't bad. And I had it written down on my notes on what things to talk about, and I had the report pulled up and everything, but it's been so long. But we discussed you eating bad food prior to the Anthony Spino episode, I believe. And
yeah, I think it's come up before.
Yeah, I've had it that long, but yeah. So according to USA Today, it's okay to eat, have a little bit of mold here and there. It doesn't hurt you. So
Yeah.
So now that we've got the basically the summer underway, what are you guys looking forward to over the summer?
I'm looking forward to over the summer. That's quite the question.
Well, every summer.
I think I'm looking forward to riding bikes and swimming, probably.
I do need
No,
it.
getting my kids to the pool so they'll at least want to get outside. I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get this family outside.
I think Parker hasn't left the poolside since she left the cemetery yesterday. She
Really?
didn't come to the barbecue because she just went to the pool.
I didn't even notice she wasn't there. That's right, she wasn't.
She was following me. She was following me in my car, and then all of a sudden she wasn't there. So I was like, maybe she had to work. I don't know.
She chose the pool over.
She chose
family?
the pool over us, and then today she was at the pool all day, and I had dinner with her, and she was burnt to a crisp.
You burnt.
Yeah, burnt. But yeah, summer is. I thought we weren't going to do a summer episode yet.
Or not.
You
Or
can just talk about what you're looking forward to in the summer, though.
So then, why is your little subtitle there a line from Summertime?
oh yeah, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
didn't-
Bobby straight
all
up
of us.
said summertime. We
That's-
didn't change it.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Boy.
Really.
Um,
All right. Well, we don't have to talk about summer. We can talk
I
about
like
summer.
no, I enjoy going to the pool. Let me set this one up. I enjoy going to the pool.
Walking around bucket naked.
bucket naked. Look good. Look
Bernie
like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. Bernie Mac. That was our
Yeah,
new.
so part of the feedback was everybody hates all our drops. So
Walking around bucket naked.
I wanted to do it again. That's a great drop, great line. So
yeah,
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
yes.
Yeah, but going to the pool for me is not fun. In fact, I think I hate the summertime. I don't ride roller coasters. I don't ride bikes. I don't swim. I've always hated it since I was a kid. There was one summer when I didn't want to wear shorts. Like I didn't want to show my legs. So I wore pants all summer.
Yeesh.
Then they came out with jams. You remember jams that would go all the way down past your knees, like those
Yeah.
shorts?
And then mom tried to make us some.
Mom made us jams, and I'm like,
We went out and picked out the material, and she made us shorts.
Jams were just long shorts, right? Or were they like culottes or what? I mean,
They were,
they were
very
pretty damn long. They were almost,
Capris?
like capri. They were almost capri pants, but we were wearing jams.
Yeah.
And I would wear the jams, and I'd pull my socks up so you couldn't see my legs at all. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe a girl made fun of my legs once or something, so that was it.
I'm sure.
I'm covering them up. But I hated summer because everybody would want to go to Worlds of Fun. I don't ride rides at Worlds of Fun. So yeah, no, it's not for me. Summertime. I can't wait for football. I can't wait for fall, people. Let's go.
Well, we got Worlds of Fun season passes, so we got to kind of get out there, get the girls out there, and
So
you know.
tell me, on your season pass, do you have parking on it? Like they all have do they
Think
all
so.
have parking?
I
they
don't
all
know.
work-
I'll figure it out when I get there.
Did you put food on yours?
No, I didn't. I should have.
I put the meal plan on mine. So there were times, because I did this back in the day when I lived in Liberty, we had season passes and we all had food. And we would literally swing into World of Fun just to get food. Like free food. It's a free meal. And you get one every 6 hours. So you can get 2 meals a day. And you can get a drink. You can get a drink like every 15 minutes, depending on what package you paid for. But yeah,
I'll understand this. You guys don't ride rides, don't like the heat, yet you bought season passes.
I ride. That's him. I'll ride rides, but I can't. Not with the girls. If I'm taking the girls up there, then it's all kiddie rides, and I don't want to ride the kiddie rides. That's the thing. Like I want his girl to go with my girl so that they can ride the rides together. Because you put me on just go like because the kid rides are so small. They're
and you're so portly.
good one. I walked into that one. But like when you spin around, it's tight spins, and I get all cuckoo-luku and
Cuckoo-luku. Do you need seatbelt extenders when you get in there?
yeah.
Yeah, we don't want you cuckoo-luku. I this year, so I've been once with Macy already, and I think she's at the point where she's still kind of scared of those big rides. Like if I'm not mistaken, Miranda and James' son Rylan, he's riding the Mamba and stuff already. Like he's going for it. He's riding all those rides. And I don't know if Macy's there yet. So we're walking around. She loves the, which was my favorite ride. And I didn't ride rides, but back in the day, it was called the River City Rampage. And now it's, I think, the Ford Fairlane or whatever.
That's the one. Yeah. It's so small. Like I get dizzy. I can't ride it. I used
that's
to love
the one
it.
that swings. It goes in circles and swings in and out. And so Macy loves that one. And she'll sit there and ride that, 6 or 7 times in a row. But after that, it's like, okay, well, she finally asked me, she's like, can we go to the Snoopy area, like the kid area? And I'm like, yeah. And we got up there, and the first couple rides, like, she's too big to ride. She can't ride them anymore.
Mm.
But then she found a couple that she could ride. And, I'm not sitting here because I don't like riding rides. I'm not going to like shame her or anything. Yeah, ride whatever the hell you want. Like, we're here. Let's ride. Then we'll swing by and get some chicken strips. Yeah. And then we'll.
I'm just here for the chicken strips.
I'm here for the chicken strips and the slice of pizza or whatever, and then we can be gone. Whatever you want to do. So, yeah, she's not quite to the big ride yet.
I'm not down for the amusement park all day. I'll walk up. Go there for an hour and a half. Sit the road. Let's go get some ice cream because we're sure as hell not going to eat there. We're gonna go get. We'll go get some McDonald's, some dollar menu McDonald's on the way home.
99-cent Frosty from Wendy's.
I was going to say, you're going to go to Wendy's and get a 99-cent Frosty and a junior bacon cheeseburger. That's what you're going to do.
Now I might get 4 junior bacon cheeseburgers, but yeah.
we're so close to it, too, that it's kind of nice to just
maybe that's why, because I'm on the Kansas side, but I think it's probably been 20 years since I've been to Worlds of Fun.
Really?
Might longer than that. I mean, yeah.
It's a good single dad thing. Back when I got divorced and I had visits with Quentin. I mean, that was a cheap. We got the season passes and we just go, for a couple hours, and just close down, shut down Oceans of Fun, and good.
Yeah, with me having Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays off, I figured, and Macy's going to be with me the whole month of June, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm like, yeah, I told her we can be there. We can go to Oceans of Fun. We can do whatever. Like, let's go. So that's why we got him. So, yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't want to make this. Yeah, I didn't want to make this a World Series, a Worlds of Fun episode either, because
we can do that later.
Yeah, we could do that. But I was sitting here thinking, like, we've all worked at Worlds of Fun.
I think we talked about that once too.
Kind of. Yeah, we kind of did. So yeah, we can do that another time.
What else is new? I see Rudy's been brushing up on his 80s cinema.
Yes. So my plan was to have a little game we were going to play this week, but I completely forgot about that because we were going to have, and I meant to mention this at the beginning of the episode, but the plan tonight was for Sharice Taylor to be our guest. But I'm looking at the time right now. I don't have a lot of time tonight. We started a little bit early. I had the opportunity to get some overtime this week, so I gotta be up at 4:30 in the morning. So
he's got to go Mimi's.
Yeah, I got to go Mimi's big time. So I had to cut this short. So I didn't want to cut Sharice's time short because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about with her. I'm sure you guys do too. So I
back to your game.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Back to your game. What were the game you were talking about? What you were going to have us do play?
Oh, yeah.
He basically said your story has become tiresome.
Try to get back on track.
I want to apologize to Sharice that we had to, but we're going to reschedule that. And so that's coming up. So everybody look forward to having Sharice. But the 80s game, I was going to, post like random pictures of 80s movies and see if you guys could guess what they were, what not. But while we're on the topic of 80s movies, though, I watched one this week. So I'm trying to. We've talked here a lot about how, and by the way, Jamie and I think Bobby too. That Thing You Do is on Hulu, so you need to go watch. I watched it again at work. It's probably my favorite movie.
You watched it at work, huh?
Yeah. While I was building vans, I watched it at work. But I watched Say Anything with John Cusack. So have any of you guys seen it?
No.
I think I did. I think
Andrew has. Bobby, you have it?
I think so.
I own it on DVD.
You
because
own
at the time,
it?
Because at a time when I was probably middle school, early high school, I was just buying any DVD I could, and at that time you could get Best Buy just ran a sale every week, get 3 for 10 or what, what, and so I
Okay.
built like a big collection. It was whatever was on sale. I would buy a movie I'd never seen before, and that's
So
what I
you-
did.
Okay.
I had never seen it before I bought it, and then I watched it.
So I had never seen it. It was on Hulu. I thought, hey, let's give Boombox in the Air. Let's give this a shot. It's a classic. I love John Cusack. So I love One Crazy Summer. I love Better Off Dead. John Cusack is awesome.
I've never seen that.
You've never
You've
seen
never
Better
seen
Off Dead?
No.
Are you
Anyway, go ahead.
serious?
No, I haven't.
I've never seen it
Go
either.
Wow. Really?
That's a great movie. I don't
It
know
is
where
a
that's
great movie.
streaming. Jamie,
That was a good movie.
dude, why is my thing? Anyway, I saw Say Anything. It was terrible. Like, I don't know what I'm missing, but it was just terrible. You guys are hearing that dinging, aren't you? Why is
So you
Mhm.
you quote would not recommend?
No, would not recommend. In fact, the scene with the boombox, the that everyone knows, like in my mind, I'm thinking, I've never seen the movie, but I'm thinking, okay, that's the ending, and he gets the girl, he holds the favorite song up, and she comes running down, and they drive off into the sunset. No, it was just a throwaway scene they could have cut, and the movie would be exactly the same. The girl didn't even get out of bed when he was playing the song outside the window. Like,
Well, would you?
She didn't even roll. In fact, she rolled away from.
She rolled over. She
rolled over. She rolled over away from the window. Like, I don't want to hear
And
this.
started
bullshit.
spooning the guy she was actually with.
No, it blew my mind that she didn't go to the window. He was basically a stalker. Like, he just.
Yeah. I mean, why
Maybe
would
if I ignore him, he'll go away.
It was so crazy. The movie would, and then it starts going into the dad in prison, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like, it made zero sense. It was so stupid. I couldn't believe I was watching it. I'm like,
So the only thing I think I remember from it is, wasn't the song on the boombox, was it Peter Gabriel, In Your Eyes?
in your eyes.
Yeah. That's I like that song, but
because John Cusack, it's not like he was a nerd and he got the girl. He was a cool guy. Everybody in the school wanted to date him. I think he went to the party and he was a big hit. I think the girl was a nerd. She was like the smart valedictorian. And so I guess the story was there. But then the story turns to the dad, like, stealing money from old people, and he goes to prison. And I'm like, what are we doing?
I was also very caught off guard by that being ultimately the point of the movie, or the story, the climax.
They had a scene with the dad in prison, and I'm like, what? Okay, we get it. Like, what are we? I don't know. It blew my mind. It was no Hoops, like in One Crazy Summer. Hoops, when he drew the little rhinoceros playing back, like, that's
great. That was a great movie.
Yeah, that is classic John Cusack. But man, Say Anything. I'm trying to watch.
It's also the dad from Frasier, John Mahoney. I don't know if that.
Oh yeah,
rings any.
I never watched Frasier, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Now, the guy the FBI agent was the same FBI agent they used in Seinfeld when he was trying to. Remember when he got the warranty on his stereo, he was stealing cable. He was stealing cable. Jerry's gonna be a cable boy, and he was worried about stealing cable. And then
I don't remember stealing cable.
Yeah, because Kramer and the two Russians were going to put free cable on his TV when he was out of town. He was nervous about it, but then in his mind, he had this whole scene, and that FBI agent from Say Anything was the FBI agent in Seinfeld. So that's all. It was a terrible movie. But like I said, I've been trying to, I've got a million channels, a million apps. I'm looking at different movies. So
I got a million apps. I got a million channels. I got all the channels. I'm rich. I got all of them.
But I was trying to decide between Casablanca and Gone with the Wind and Gone with the Wind. I've never seen either of them, but just looking at the runtime, I obviously decided with Casablanca. I started it, but I immediately fell asleep. So that's the one I'm working on now. But
so a couple weeks ago when you reviewed Pride, we were talking about Pride. You talked about how dumb movies were. I wanted to list of like, I don't know, just because I've seen a lot of movies. In college, I got really into like the AFI list and watching old movies, and so I wanted to like just make a list of a few to recommend to you. Casablanca would have been on there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm
just
gonna try that.
anything pre 1970 is what I was kind of thinking.
See, I'm struggling with them. I'm gonna try to take them one at a time because I feel like I've got to see Casablanca. I've got to see Gone with the Wind. But man, Pride of the Yankees. I'm a baseball
Sure.
fan. So that's in my wheelhouse. But
Yeah.
just
Well, I would definitely say so. The ones that came to mind right away, and if I looked at a bigger list, maybe I could come up with a couple more. But Casablanca. I would also go with a movie called Double Indemnity, which is like a film noir where insurance agent kind of starts an affair with this femme fatale, and then they plot to murder her husband and collect the insurance money. But then they start turning on each other. And then what was the other one I was going to say? Oh, The Manchurian Candidate, which they remade later with Denzel Washington. But that's a great movie about a bunch of prisoners of war who get brainwashed by the Japanese, and then one of them gets brainwashed into becoming an assassin. And it's really cool and really interesting. I think you'd like those.
I want to see Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
is that
What?
some porno? What
Marilyn
are you
Monroe.
talking about?
That's Marilyn
Who?
Monroe.
Is that where her dress flies up or something? You
No, that's a 7-year
Original.
itch.
oh. Yeah.
Doesn't
the
sound
one
like
that-
there's
what I think of is Blazing Saddles. Rudy, you said you watched that recently.
I watched
and
that.
didn't
I didn't think it was that good.
I kind of liked it. Now I
I
don't think it
love
was
it.
as great as everybody thought it was.
It's not. It's no Spaceballs. And I
No.
know that's blasphemy to most, Mel Brooks
Brooks.
fans, but I mean, it was fine. I don't know. I tried. I mean, it took me a while to get through it, and I finally got through it. And again, for the day, I'm sure it was amazing, but I've seen so much stuff at this point. Like, we've gone so far with movies, like that's not like when they break
Cutting
in,
edge.
like, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. I just saw Fast and the Furious. They drove a car down the Hoover Dam. So Mel Brooks,
Doesn't interest me.
I've seen a lot. Although those were stupid movies, but
Fast and Furious 1
Fast and
or
Furious.
95? Which
No,
one?
it was
is
We
like
need to get
it was like 13.
where the
or
white
whatever.
women at drop.
We had a white
it? Yes,
women.
we do need that.
So,
I do
yeah.
think because most people love Young Frankenstein, and that one doesn't really get me. But Blazing Saddles, I think, makes me legitimately makes me laugh.
Old
the way
movies for
most people say
me-
Young Frankenstein does.
Like, when I think of old movies, I think of like Richard Pryor and the Toy. That's a great movie. That is really,
That's old. That's old to me. Yeah.
yes, that's an old
I watched
movie.
Where
Willy
a
Wonka
young
is-
white rich child owns a black man. That's what you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
This movie did not age well, apparently.
That was, well, a lot of them don't, man. Have you seen Revenge of the Nerds lately? Good
Yeah.
lord.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff we watched and the stuff we liked. Yeah, it's just, I mean,
Yeah, we laughed at that, and it's not
Yeah.
okay now at all.
even Seinfeld episodes, you're just like, ooh, yeah.
So we've got some homework for next week for sure. Well, next week, like I said, hopefully next week we can reschedule and have Sharice on. But you're watching That Thing You Do.
Me?
I've seen it before.
I quit.
I know.
It's been 20,
I know.
25 years.
Andrew needs to watch Blood In, Blood Out.
I quit.
I would, but it's like 3 hours, right? Like I don't know if I have that kind of time with these two kids.
It'll be 3 of the best hours of your life.
What did you recommend to him?
Blood In, Blood Out.
I was going to start that, but I don't.
I don't
That's
remember that one
fantastic.
either.
I remember
I really-
watching.
Guys.
I remember watching it, but me.
I mentioned it to you guys off air, but I do think if I bring it out here, maybe we'll do it. But I think we need to come up with like four or five movies or something where we do like the first annual Quit Acting Stupid movie festival or something where we have 5 movies. We're going to watch them. We're going to talk about them the next week, and viewers and whoever's watching with us can watch along and be part of the
Yeah,
conversation.
we got to make sure though that
Cut it down to 2 and I'm there.
we got to make sure we don't turn this into a movie podcast.
I'm worried about Rudy's
no.
recommendations.
My
It
recommendation.
doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be one episode. It doesn't have to be consecutive episodes. It could be like every once in a while we'll come back.
My first on my
over the
list
course of the summer.
is Saving Ryan's Privates.
No,
And-
so if we did that, what would be the first movie we would all want? A movie that none of us have seen that we all would like to see.
Oh, I don't know about that. I was just thinking movies
none
that
of us-
came up on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of stuff
But-
I haven't seen.
Yeah, me too.
I had a good question for the podcast, but I might save it. Might put it in my back pocket. Yeah, so I don't even know why I said anything. Keep going. Sorry.
All right.
Well, should we?
We want to make sure we get you in bed on time too. So
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
we
we're
should
getting
probably start
right up
wrapping.
on it. So what were we gonna do? So I have Rudy's runs, but honestly, a lot of them I need video for, and
Is Angel Hernandez on there?
no, that just happened. I did not write that. Angel Hernandez got, or he's retiring,
Mhm.
or
yeah, we'll call it
he
that.
was forced to quit. Yeah, so that should be on here. That definitely would be, but that just happened today, right?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. Let's do Rudy's runs real quick. Even though I don't have the video, I can kind of try to describe it.
I can help you out if I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because one of them actually, I think I will need your help with or your insight. I'm looking for the Rudy's run. So this week, did you guys see Patrick Mahomes? There's a big deal about him showing up to camp.
Showing up to camp out of shape.
Looking a little chubby. Looking a little chubby there.
Hasn't he always been?
But I think he's now looking a little bigger than normal. But
I don't care what he looks like
Dude.
as long as we keep winning.
Dude just
Yeah,
won
that
two Super Bowls back to back. I think he can let it hang out a little bit if he wants.
Yeah.
It's probably all that coffee that he's
stomach.
stomach.
His stomach.
The
I
coffee.
agree. I agree with what you guys are saying, but we'll see, man. I hope he's. I think
Travis
he's fine.
Kelce said apparently that he can put away some Coors Light. That Patrick Mahomes can put away some Coors Light. So
I'm sure.
maybe,
he can.
maybe
Did
that's
it
how
in
you
front
get.
of all of Kansas City 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then slammed it down and then threw the beer can at my kid's head in the parade.
I ain't worried.
It's
Next,
still- so all that Coors and still accurate.
I know he's still
That's my
exactly
quarterback.
drunk as hell and nailed my kid in the head with the beer can. So covered her in beer. Second thing on my list, and this is one I needed a video for. I don't know if you guys saw it. There was this dad got a whole bunch of flack this week or last week because the wife was running a marathon, and before she crossed the finish line, the dad had the 2 kids there, and he tried to have them run out and congratulate her. She hadn't crossed the finish line yet, though, and everybody was giving this dad flack, like, let the mom have her moment. Like, why are you doing this? So the dad was just getting trashed. And like I said, it would help if I had the video to show you guys. But I know Jamie has an opinion on this. But
Hate people.
the other one I needed a video for. Did you see the I think it was a college golf team where they were flying in an airplane and they outside the window, like the people were like throwing their bags of golf clubs, like launching them, and they were like, yeah, and it was like cringy for golfers.
wow, yeah. You know how much those things cost?
Obviously,
Yeah.
you're not a golfer.
Apparently, yeah, it was a big deal that this airline was just like it was luggage, like they were just launching these golf
Yeah,
bags
I
of
had
golf
not
clubs.
seen that video, but yeah, that's thousands of dollars being tossed around.
Yeah, I'll have to show you because they were big bags, like the team's golf clubs and stuff like that. The other thing, while on golf, we can stay on golf. Scotty Scheffler.
That's a little old, little dated.
They're old, but the incident's old. But then, did you see the video? Like, apparently, the cop was full of shit, saying that he got drugged like 10 feet or something, and it's on video. He didn't really get drugged at all. Like, I don't know.
Really.
Yeah. So apparently, and so
I've got a comment there, but I'm going to reserve.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
the other thing, this kind of tugged at my heartstrings. Did you guys see? I know we
You
had
don't have a heart.
That's true.
Get
It's
out of
black.
here.
It's completely black. So a lot of people died this week. Bill Walton. But the one that kind of hit me, it was last week, was Morgan Spurlock,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
creator of Super Size Me. A
Hit
man
cancer.
after my own heart that ate McDonald's every day for like 30, 40 days. And
Yeah.
he
Did
died.
the headline make you hungry?
It did. I was starving after. I'm like, I'm going to get, in honor of him, I'm going to go eat one of everything on the McDonald's menu.
I actually
My
have to
thing-
look up to see what he died of because I'm like, was it?
I think I read that it had nothing to do with
cancer,
his
cancer of
McDonald's.
some sort. Yeah, so that wasn't
What-
a heart or a congestion.
What
or
I
anything.
took out of that was, man, fast food used to be cheap back then. That's
Yes.
what I got out of it. Yeah,
Yes.
now I won't step foot in McDonald's. I don't like. You
Lay
went
off me, I'm starving.
exactly. Yeah. No. Anyway, I
The
won't get
last
into
thing,
that. But
the last thing on my list, and again, I need a video for it, but I'm sure you guys have all seen this video. The new Wheel of Fortune clip.
Yes.
You guys haven't seen
Yes.
it? Oh,
Yes. You've got
man.
to put that on socials.
I've got to have the video, but
It's NSFW, not suitable for work.
you could see the, so you could see the puzzle and see what letters he had, but he tried to solve the puzzle and he goes, right in the butt.
Right in the butt.
Like I said, this would work much better if we had the video, but his guess was right in the butt. And honestly, it all fit except for the word right. Like that wouldn't have fit
Too many
in the
letters.
puzzle. And they were just like, he said, I'm sorry, Pat, I was nervous. Hilarious, dude. He guessed right in the butt.
I mean, it was Adam Schefter. I mean, a bunch of people on Twitter were
It's on
retweeting
Twitter.
it and,
Google Wheel of Fortune or something. Hilarious. I wish I had the
Right in the
clips.
butt.
I got to get better at this. But
This made me think of South Park when Randy was on Wheel of Fortune and it was Naggers, Naggers. Only
so
that's
good.
not what he guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my runs. If you guys,
Flush them. Courtesy flush, please.
yeah,
Yep,
we need
one
to.
snack.
There it is.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
So that's like I said, I should have got the videos for them, but that's where I'm at now. So as for the
back to Morgan Spurlock real quick.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen his other document? His other like I think there was a Super Size Me 2 where he opened a chicken restaurant. That's pretty good.
No,
too.
was
Yeah,
it?
that was really good. Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. Oh yeah,
But
that's really good. You should look into that.
Speaking of documentaries, I did catch the and they do a lot of dark side documentaries, and it's a series of documentaries.
Mhm.
But the Dark Side of Comedy, episode 1 is Chris Farley. It's an hour
watched that
long.
this
I watched it. Did you? It was really good.
about that,
I
yeah.
liked it a lot. Number 2 was episode 2 was Dice Clay, and I fell asleep during that one, so I'm gonna have to try that one again. They got a lot of different people on there that might be worth watching, I think. So, but the Chris Farley one was great. I thought it was really good. So.
Mhm.
Check that out. Quit Acting Stupid Award. Anybody?
I don't think we discussed this at all, did we?
No.
But it's yeah, gosh. Somebody.
Somebody
Sweet.
say something.
Mm.
Wait, did I have one in my phone? I don't think I did. I know. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and I'm running out of time. But Jamie, you went to that Viva Mexico thing at Johnson County Community College. That was a couple weeks ago, right?
It's amazing, right here. Yes.
And so, Mom couldn't go because of her leg, or no, was
Knee.
she sick? It was her knee. Okay, she couldn't go because of her knee. And the thing that I thought was funny, so we were looking for somebody to use her ticket. She spent a lot of money on these tickets, even though, by the way, I told you guys Parker could have got them for $5. But
Yeah,
That's what
and
Kaylee said.
I asked you to have her get them for me, and anyway, go
well,
ahead.
she's not going to do it. She gave me her student ID that you could have used to get them, but did I not tell you that? I swear. Anyway,
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
So Mom had some very expensive tickets, and she all of a sudden couldn't go because of her knee. So she was looking for somebody to go. So Jamie put out the email, hey, can anybody go? And Kaylee and Vanessa were like, yes, we can go. Now, I'm going to call you out, Jamie. Did you take Mom's good tickets and give the crap tickets to Kaylee and Vanessa?
They weren't crap tickets because technically they were closer to the stage than I was. They were just off to the side a little bit, and I was dead on. So,
You
so
took
yeah, no, I did.
the closer tickets and gave Kaylee and Vanessa the ones that you had purchased.
Yeah, which were those were closer to the stage.
No, but they're fantastic. Although I would assume, did they stay for the whole thing, Andrew? Do you know?
Everything
I would
was
assume
going
Vanessa
okay.
probably had to.
I want you to know this.
I assume Vanessa probably wouldn't, because how long was it? Was it a long show?
Yeah, see, they left early. 'Cause
hour
it
and a
didn't start till 8, and there was an intermission. And Vanessa's bedtime is 8:30ish.
Yeah. So
They didn't. They stayed past the intermission because I think they said they saw you, Jamie. But then they left a little bit after that.
Yeah,
But they enjoyed it. They got everything in that they wanted to see. Because Kaylee looked at it ahead of time and saw that they were doing some Disney songs and doing a few things. And once they kind of heard what they knew they wanted, they went ahead and left.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was saying, well, we could just throw that quit acting stupid at you, but no. How about, and God rest her soul, we were talking on your deck yesterday with our cousin JJ, and I don't want to give Aunt Tina the quit acting stupid award, but
Where are you going with this?
we were talking about the Mizzou softball game and the pitcher. And JJ said that what Aunt Tina would have said was she's got a big rumble seat. And we all had to stop and say, what? And he's like, yeah. Aunt Tina would say that she has a big rumble seat. So that had me rolling all night. Like, I just kept thinking about that. So, yeah.
I don't know,
rumble
if you
seat.
know, but I'm actually turning red. I mean, that was.
I'm going to hashtag rumble seat on this episode. So that is great. I've never heard that before. And that's just classic Aunt
I have
Tina.
no idea where Aunt Tina would have gotten that from, but a rumble seat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
She's got a big rumble seat.
I don't know if it qualifies for quit acting stupid. I think
I was stretching there, but
I think we should go. The quit acting stupid is the people who drive the wrong way in cemeteries.
at cemeteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit acting stupid.
Absolutely. Yes. Quit acting stupid. Just drive,
There's a
follow the
way.
freaking traffic. Yeah.
Right.
Since you brought cemeteries back up, I know we're wrapping this up, but one thing I wanted to mention earlier, I had to go for a minute because Vanessa got up. But on the note of who else goes to the cemeteries, Kaylee's family, they do go every year, and they have a lot of small towns because a lot of them are in small town Missouri, and they haven't really left those little small towns. So when I went one year, I was with them for Memorial Day, and they put flowers on everybody's grave. Some of those gravestones are old, like they're from people who died in the Civil War.
Wow.
And so they're just, stuff that's really fallen apart and everything, but it's just really, it almost lends an extra layer of creepiness because it's such an older thing,
Yes, there's a lot of old ones at St. Mary's too. Because I was James was with us, my son-in-law James, and I just caught him off in the distance, like reading one of the old. I'm like, "What are you doing? Do you know that person?" And he's like, "No, it's just interesting. I wanted to read it." Like, yeah. So there's a lot.
I was very interested. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one.
You go ahead, Jamie.
Say at St. Mary's, that cemetery, there was one where I was walking. I was like, man, it seems like there should be some. It looked weird. It was just kind of like a blank space, and I just pushed the grass aside, and it was a tiny little. It looked like a size of an envelope.
I noticed that when we were walking.
Yeah, it was like in Greek. I'm like, I wouldn't have any idea.
When we were walking over to Grandma and Papacito's stone, there were a lot of them that were just grass had grown over them, and I'm like. But obviously, nobody's there to visit those people to take care of them. I mean, it's the cemetery's responsibility, but to pull the grass back if nobody's there, like it's just going to grow over. And but there are a lot in different languages and stuff.
So I was gonna say, so we go and we do all the prayers over the gravestones and stuff, but that's because we come from a Catholic background. So Kaylee's family, not Catholic, they don't really say the prayers like we do. Maybe they say one, but I remember Kaylee kind of. Even I kind of felt it because we all pray together, we all put our heads down, and I could kind of feel her just kind of like another one because we do like 4 prayers at every stop, and it just feels. I think it feels a little overkill to people who aren't Catholic, especially because I think she said we don't really pray so much for the dead because they're already dead, they're already in heaven, they're already wherever they're supposed to be. Like we don't really pray for them all this time afterwards, like we do. And I always thought that was very interesting because they're there, they're putting flowers on the grave. It's not like there's any less respect or anything, but they just don't say,
So we do an Our Father, Hail Mary, Glory be. What's that one in the middle that you do?
I don't know. I do eternal rest, grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. I don't, may their soul and all the souls of faithfully departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. I don't know what that's.
I mean, I just remember as kids that was Aunt Helen's.
That was Aunt Helen's.
Wait, what'd you say, Andrew?
I just love the way Bobby kept saying, like, I don't know. It's just something, like, as if he was just making it off the top of his head. Like, I don't know. It's just something that comes to me, and I just kind of say it. And
But it's
Well,
like what Rudy said. Aunt Helen used to say it, so
Yeah,
I
that was
memorized
Aunt
it,
Helen's part. Like that was her line.
but I don't know
Aunt
what
Helen's
it's called.
line. Yeah. So I feel
and
like
that's part of that tradition. Like, Bobby went ahead and, like, made sure he memorized that so we didn't lose that.
right
Because
Like,
Aunt Helen's
it's-
not there to say it anymore. So yeah.
I feel like we do it because Aunt Helen did it, and that's how we do it, and that's how we're gonna always do it
I'm
Yeah.
sure I could look it up and figure out what the prayer is called, but
until Bobby dies, and then nobody took it upon themselves to memorize it. And maybe
one
Xavier-
more,
You
One more
designate somebody.
I know we're trying to wrap up. One more thing. Do you guys remember when we were younger? That there would be a family. Actually, there might have been a few families that would
picnic.
picnic out there at the cemetery on Memorial Day. Which
Yeah.
we go and pay our respects, but we do a cookout, but we don't combine paying our respects and doing the cookout at the same location,
Yeah.
which we always thought was kind of interesting. But
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
a
remember.
cultural thing, too, though, because I felt like it was a certain
Culture?
ethnicity. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's offensive or not, but I mean, I think it's just how they did it.
They were Vietnamese, weren't they?
Yeah. Or Asian of some kind.
No, Filipino.
Filipino.
Maybe. But I just felt like that was maybe some part of their culture.
And that was odd to us because we just I mean we usually did our cookouts at home. We didn't sit there, but yeah, you're right. I bet it is cultural. I bet it was.
And the last thing
Well,
I'll
yeah,
say too, because we talked about Icebox and another story. I don't remember if we said this or not, but whenever we see Raymond, who passed
Polio.
away, yeah, we
Iron
talk
lung.
about polio, but we talk
I shouldn't
about
laugh.
how old was he? It's like 7. So
Seven.
who's 7? Who's 7?
Didn't-
Who's almost
Yeah,
7?
You're
we
gonna
were-
die.
We're trying to scare the crap out of the
That's the
kids.
worst.
Which
I
one's
think
he
you
was
got
7
that,
years
Andy.
old? Yeah,
I
he
think
was
you
your
got
age.
that, Andy. When you were 7.
I got
did
that a
we,
lot when I was little, but I've heard it to every kid since.
So he
Yeah,
died, did he? Am I wrong? He died before Mom
Mom
and
was
Larry
born.
were born, right?
I think
Yes.
Larry was born, right?
Larry might have
was
been
already-
born.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our Uncle Larry.
Okay.
I think he died in 49 and Mom was born in 50.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
know
that
iron
sounds right.
lung because that's
Polio.
Polio, yeah.
So
Yeah, but yeah, everybody would be like, if Andy was 5, and we'd be like, well, you got 2 more years.
Yeah.
And
it's still
Traumatizing.
funny. It's still funny. So how old's Avery?
she's 7. Yeah, so
She's
yeah.
7. We didn't
somebody
give
tell
her
her?
anything this year, did we?
No,
I think
because they had to
somebody
go
said
home.
something.
They
Oh,
left
that's
early
right.
to
Yeah,
get
that's
the-
right.
get the
Oh,
house
they
They had to
ready.
go to get the cookout started. We didn't even get to scare her.
So who's next in line?
Who's the
Alicia?
next 7-year-old? Alicia's the next one to
Vanessa?
be
He's
7.
5. Yeah,
What about Rylan? How old's he?
Rylan.
He's over.
He's
He's over
7.
7.
he's 7.
You already 7? No, dang it. So Vanessa and Alicia got a couple more years. So anything else?
Wrapping up this Memorial Day.
Yeah. Great weather. I don't know. I can't think of anything else, guys. And I've got to go Mimi's.
You were adamant that you had to be off by 10:30.
I got to be off.
Well,
It's now
I was
10:32.
also going to say, I always feel bad that I'm always like, we were at Mount Olivet first. I always feel like, oh yeah, this is nice. Maybe it's because we had the tree and there's a little bit more room, but I think it's because it's first. By the time we get to St. Mary's, I'm like, all right, let's get this done. It's getting hotter. I want to get the food. I can taste the burger.
There's
Yeah,
no
I didn't eat
shade.
breakfast.
off
me, I'm starving.
So I just feel like it's always complete dichotomy.
Like, come on. The prayers got shorter at Mount St. Mary's when we got there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't do as many prayers. All right.
Unfortunate.
Give the 10 peso version.
Yeah, give me the 10 peso version. Sorry. And it's always Grandma and Papsito are the last two, Grandma Garcia and Papsito. And we always talk about how we threw Shawnee's ashes right there. And then it's like, all right, it's time to eat.
go.
Like, let's go.
So it's like, the scene from Christmas, European National Lampoon's Vacation. I
Yes.
eventually get the right movie.
All
right, let's go.
Yep.
All right.
So,
Did we get
all
all
right.
our Memorial Day stories in? Or I
think
know
so.
we're going to think of one as soon as we get off this air.
Probably.
I'm sure there's more, but we can touch back on them later. So
Rudy's going to turn
Yeah.
into a pumpkin if he doesn't get his 8 hours.
I gotta go. Mimi's, is your alarm going off at 4:30 in the morning?
No, it is not.
All right.
All right. With that, for my brothers Rue, Andy, and Jamie, I am Bobby D saying until next time, get ready, Jamie.
Wait, get ready, Rudy.
Get ready.
No, I'm
Rudy.
doing it.
Okay.
All right. Until next time, quit acting stupid.
Not to get into too much troubles, okay?